The stage is yours.
Thank you, Rainer. Good morning. Rainer requested that I should speak English. Does anybody only understands English in the auditorium?
Yep.
Okay. Then I will try and will give my best. I'm not a native speaker. So let's go to my talk. I want to talk about declarative agents. A short question. Has anybody in this audience not a Microsoft 365 Copilot license? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Let's start with the introduction. My name is Peter Paul. I work at ACP CUBIDO, and thank you for the sponsors for this event, Dynatrace, Microsoft, and also my company, ACP CUBIDO. What I'm doing, my main topic is M365. So I develop solutions, bots, extension for this. Also Power Platform. Yes, I know it's low code. Who's a local developer here or maker? Everybody a pro code developer? Really? Wow, nice. Okay, in the meanwhile, everybody's a maker, so everybody is a Power Platform developer. And then I use Azure quite a lot. Why I use Azure? Because M365 runs in the cloud, so where should I host my applications? Azure or maybe AWS, but I don't care about. So the main part what I'm developing is .NET, TypeScript, and this sometimes Python, but I don't say it too loud because I don't like it. And yeah, I work with Azure DevOps, GitHub, and my passion is that everything what I develop should use a CI/CD pipeline, and I need a good monitoring. So let's start with the demo. I hope everybody knows Teams, Microsoft Teams, and when you have a license, you get a Microsoft 365 Copilot. You have on the top here Web and Work, and this is the main important for the governance guys and for the compliance that you have the green check on this. So it's okay for them. So, and you can make your own prompts here, and when you have repeating things to do, you can make your own agent. And the incredible is, it is really easy that everybody can make such an agent. And you click here, create an agent. And the screen is coming up. And you can say, I have multiple options to do. I can describe it. So I have the assistant of a Copilot that I make an agent, or I can configure it. So I come from the side that I like to configure it because for me it's easier. I have to enter a name. Let's make an example. It's my blog post agent. Then I have to give a description. This is, hi, I'm an agent. And then we come to the instruction. Who is working with Copilot?
I think you just switched off your mic.
I switched off? Okay, thank you. Who knows the word prompting or something? Or have never heard the word prompting? Okay. For every Copilot or for every AI, you have to describe what the AI has to do for you. When you say, I want to have the last mail from Martin, then the AI should know what to do. So this is a prompt. And the same is when you generate a picture. You say, I want to have a picture of a mountain in a blue sky with no clouds and make it a comic style or something like this. This is called prompt. You say the system what you want to have from that. And now in the agent, it doesn't call it prompt, it is an instruction. So it's nearly the same what we have done already. My blog post should have 200 words, and so on and so on. The next thing is you can give knowledge and capacities to them, and you have starter prompts. This is to help other people that they can use your agent. So I have prepared something, and then I have one question. The instruction. How long do you think is the instruction? Is the instruction 2 words, 10 words? Is it more than 1,000 characters? Any feedback?
Can be quite long.
It depends, and it can be quite long. I started to, I want to have it only with 2 words. But when I really use such an agent, you can see in this thing, I have over 2,000 characters used. That how should be the authoring, how should be the review of a blog post, and so on. And this is cool because you say, save, try it, and you have it directly here. And you have automatically your starter prompts. And this is very, very cool that everybody in your company can make their own agent to make such better things better. So think about, this is a blog post agent. This is more personal. But how do you think about offers? Offers should have the same structure in the company. So it would be, maybe it would be good to have an agent to help people to write offers. But is this a personal use or is it an enterprise use? And here we come to the point that in this scenario, you are clicking it directly into the UI. What is missing for a developer? There are some things missing, and this thing is you have no source control. This means when I make a change to this agent, everybody would get the change and nobody will know why the change is happened, and I have no control about the deployment. So an admin doesn't know which version is currently active. He cannot roll back it. So in this scenario, it would be better to make it in a source control. And from the Microsoft side, you have the possibility that you start Visual Studio Code, and there is a really awesome extension. This extension called Teams Toolkit, and it goes here. And you can say, hey, I want to create a new application. An agent is an application, and it should be a declarative agent without any actions, and create the folder. And this is my test agent without spaces. Then it's easier. So what we get automatically from this generator is that everything will be generated for us. So the complete scaffolding is done. And now we look into one package. This is the app package, and there we have the manifest. So everybody or every developer who has already done a Teams extension, this is the same. So you look into the manifest, you see in the top part, you have the name, you have the icon. This is the same section what you have for every tab, for every message extension. This is the same what we have done 10 years before. And the only thing what we have got new is here the section Copilot agent. In this case, it's a declarative agent. And we have here a file reference to declarative agent JSON. It's possible to write everything in the same file. Yes, please.
How is this now connected to your agent that you did in the Office 365?
Can you give me 1 second?
So not yet done.
It's not connected.
Oh, no.
It's they are side by side.
Okay, I
But
missed something now.
yeah, the first thing is we have clicked it, and now we bring what we have clicked back to our source control and deploy it company-wide. So here I have the declarative agent JSON, and in this JSON there's standing the name, the description, and the instruction. So you see directly, it's the same what we have seen before on the configure. You have the name, the description, and the instruction. From the structure, it is the same. So, and in this instruction file, you can give it here. So if somebody has already made in your company an agent and said, this agent is awesome, I want to share it, or I have shared it with other people, and you want to say, hey, I want to make it that everybody in the companies has to use it or should use it, you can give it into the Microsoft Teams Toolkit as a Pro Code version. You can give it into the source code repository and push it there. And the admin will love you because he gets in the apps, manage apps and team administration center, he gets the complete control like every other app. So, but we have here some things. We have here knowledge and capacity. So code integration and image generation. How can we give this into our solution? So, like a cook, I have prepared something. My block agent. So I have here the declarative agent, and here I can give the capacities. So maybe you ask, how do I know which capacity I can use? Do I have to read the docker or something? Everything in the Teams toolkit or every manifest you find in the M365 has a schema. And over the schema, you can read it. Yes, it's a JSON file, what you have to read. But with this knowledge that you can read it, you can say, okay, I know which capacity I have. I have graphics, art, Teams message, Dataverse, email, and people, and they are referenced to a structure. So now we have it. How can I bring such agent from a Pro Code to my dev environment? It's such easy. You go to play and say, execute it. And it's the right browser. This is the main important thing. Here. 1 second, please. So Microsoft, in the Microsoft Teams Toolkit, says it should be easy to test something. When you have a developer tenant or something where you can sideload applications, you hit F5, and as soon you hit F5, everything is automatically created and you can try it directly. So let's say I remove such a starter thing and say, okay, let's debug it. And sometimes it's not a good version, but you can test it very fast and very easy. The good thing is that everything is integrated in Microsoft Visual Studio Code. You have here the settings. The launch settings, and over this you can find everything. I will show it in more detail later when we go to the actions. What is interesting here, we are talking about how to give this to an administrator when you go from development to productive. The thing is, you have here in the build directly and zip file. In the zip file, you have only the manifest, the icon, and this was it. So it's easy to deploy such thing to company-wide and to make guidance with this. So, for such an agent, I think graphics and code integration for blog post agent would be enough. Here I have some slides only for to see how it is connected in a different way. You find here the name, description, the instruction. This is in a file. It's more readable. Then you have here your starters and here your capacities. So they are easy to connect. When you need other things like web content, this is only such a little tag. So it's easy to extend the knowledge of this declarative agent. When you think about, was talking about the offer agent, main of the offers are hosted in SharePoint. So you can give the documents in a SharePoint library and consume it directly here. And you have only to say, hey, I want the documents from this library or from this URL. So it's no magic behind. The same as like Teams and the email. So this interesting thing is, and please keep this in mind, when you say I want to have the capacity mail and you give the folder inbox, which mailbox will be used? It's the mailbox of the user who uses the agent, because Microsoft internally use Microsoft Graph. If it's Microsoft Graph, it use the endpoint me/email/mail, and then the folder inbox. But what is more common in agents, when I say make it company-wide, is that I maybe have the knowledge in a shared mailbox. And this is so easy that you give only one parameter inside. Shared mailbox is my blocker shared mailbox at CUBIDO.at. And so you have the knowledge of this mailbox also included in your agent. So nearly everything that you have in the M365 universe, you can connect with your agent.
What about the credentials, for example, and the authentication?
The agent has an app registration, and everything is working in behalf of. So if the user has no permission to the shared mailbox, the agent will not have permissions to the shared mailbox. The same is for the documents. When you use a document library and you have, for example, two folders, one folder is only for the CIO and for the C-level, and the other folder is for all salesperson. The salesperson will only get a document or a reference to the sales thing and not to the C-level thing. Is it okay?
Can you just one time show how this agent, how does it look in Teams? I've not done this before, and maybe I'm the only one.
Thank you for the question. This is how this agent looks. It's I have deployed it on my side, so I get it directly here. Okay, the graphics is not the best. And for everybody in the company can say get agent. You go to the app center, and on the left hand side you see build for your org, and you should find hopefully all agents on this side. I have it on not deployed for everybody, but here it is. And so it's easy to say, hey, I have it here and I have a really great agent. Do you want to try it? Yes, you can share the agent when you have clicked it. But when you say, okay, I want to have it for the complete company, I can give this to the App Store from the Microsoft, and then it will be visualized in built for the org. And this is really, really important, because maybe you have two sales teams and they have different leads, and then both of them made the agent, and both teams make their own agent. And maybe it would be great to combine these two agents into one agent, and everybody in the company can use this. So here it is, my blog post agent. And yeah, something about mental health. Mental health is very important, meanwhile, because only healthy employees are really good employees. Yeah, it is, and it's not really, really complicated. So, yes, please.
From a licensing perspective, does everybody who wants to access this agent needs to have a Copilot Pro license?
It's you need an M365 Copilot license as user license, or you have activated pay as you go. In the meanwhile, in the M365 universe, you can license M365 Copilot as a pay as you go model, and then you pay messages. Is okay?
That's okay. Before I saw you can link to a knowledge.
Yes.
Would this be a use case where you, for example, reference some kind of manuals or handbooks and give this agent then as a kind of help desk support? Or
exactly. This is
more complicated than that?
It's dependent on your knowledge source. When your knowledge source is a website, then you give the URL and you say web search. Then it's very easy. It's the same result what you have in Bing. The good thing is in this agent, when you use such knowledge source, the user, you give instructions. So yes, I am a help desk agent and I help you with your telephone. And in your telephone, I reference the documentation of your telephone manufacturer, so you have the knowledge source. This is quite easy to do, but in this case, the knowledge source is public. When I have the same knowledge source, maybe on SharePoint, then it's also easy because you give the URL. As long as the user has access to the documents that are stored in SharePoint, he gets the knowledge source from them. So this is possible. And the good thing is you can make short questions because you have the instructions, and the instruction says how does they should interpret something. And the other thing is with the instruction. I'm thinking about the printing system. Yeah, and in some companies they have special name because nobody says I have a problem with the printer because I have a problem with Konica or something like this. And then you can give it to the instruction that the large language model knows with this keyword the user needs a printing system or something like this. So this is a really, really great opportunity to play with them also as help desk and so on. But exactly on this point, we have different knowledge sources. And on one point, we are coming that we have other systems. Let's think about CRM systems, where I said ticket system, maybe for the help desk tickets, or sales system, where you have things stored. Or let's talk about a repairing shop or something, and you want to say, hey, I want to have an agent that the user can ask, hey, what tasks do I have today? What should I do? In which direction? And how should I do it? So in such a scenarios, you have data outside the M365 universe. What is possible in this scenario? One second, please. Only to start. In this scenario, you have an external system. What do I need to get data from the external system? I need an interface. And more or less, I can use the database. Or the system has already an application programming interface. The short word is API. Do you know what API is? It's more or less a URL you can open, and when you have access, you get a JSON back. Let's take a look how such things look like. So this is only an example that I say, okay, I have an API. Mainly it's called application/API/method name, and then maybe a parameter as get, or sometimes it's also other methods like post, delete, put, or something like this. But the interesting thing is the format is standardized, and you get a description. When you have such things in your company, you mainly should have a description how such API is look like. Here's the. So. And what is standing in this description? In this description, you have the title. What is the service? You have the URL, what it's there. You have the path. In this case, we have repair. From the HTTP method, it's get, and then the operation ID. It's not interesting for us. It's only how the system is working. It should be unique. And then you have here a description what this endpoint does. And for this, what we are doing now, it's very important that we have nonsense there. As a developer before, why should I describe it? Because, hey, the operation calls list repairs. And here, this is the main important thing, make descriptions. This description has to be readable and not for developers. It should be readable for everybody in the universe. So make a sentence. And then it is done with which parameter I have. In this case, I have only one parameter because I want to have it easy. It's assigned to, and it's a string. And then I have to say the response. In my sample, I have only one endpoint. But think about Graph API, also the Microsoft M365 APIs. They have a ton of API endpoints. So in this file can be very, very long. It's a huge file, so quite a lot of definitions are inside. And this is the base, what you need to can make an integration. As a developer, it's easy. You say, hey, I have such a file. I can generate you a client and say, okay, in this dropdown, I want to have a list of all repairs. So I go to this API, make the dropdown, and everything is good. So for testing and so on, I made such a really short API, and this is in TypeScript because then I can start it directly here. And it's more or less, I have a JSON here, and the TypeScript does only filter the JSON. Hey, this is sample data. This is not productive. So only for testing, this is in this way. So how can I use this information in my agent? It must be a capacity. Or is it something else? It's not a capacity. In the Microsoft universe, it's called action. So now the man in the background is, hey, where can I find the action in the UI? In the UI, the action is currently, give me a second. Oops. Second time, create an agent. This action is currently coming soon. Please use Copilot Studio. But as ProCode developer, you have already the possibility to use such actions. And now we are here back on the pricing plan. Hey, actions, you find already this in the pricing plan, also in the pay-as-you-go model. So we have an action, and the cool thing is, it's also a description and says, hey, we have here a file, and this file is the AI plugin. Give me a second, a little bit bigger. Is it okay? Can you read it? The screen is a little bit big here. So AI plugin. And here there's a complete definition. you say, okay, I have here my function. This function returns detail and images. This is the response, and here is the runtime. It's an open API endpoint. Authentication, in this case, I have no authentication. Entra ID, token, and so on is everything is possible to do this here. And here you have the specification. Here is the open API definition. So from your system, and you say which function can be run. In this case, it's list repairs. So the other thing is we have to say, hey, we have this, and we get a result of the function, and now we have to tell the agent how should be the output rendered. And this is an adaptive card. What is an adaptive card? An adaptive card is a description in the JSON format how the rendering should look like. And then you get something like this. You have here items, you have a text blocks with the ID, and if nothing is there, you get it. And has anybody seen such thing already? Action cards are mainly used in the M365 universe to present search results, or you can make in Power Automate actions to teams, and this is described. And it's not funny to write this. So the easiest way is to go to Designer, Action Card, and then you have the Microsoft, and here it's easy. You give your sample JSON inside, and then you click it, and you see in a like what you see is what you get into something how it is rendered back. The cool thing is when you think about action cards, you have a mobile device in Teams, you have a full client. You don't care about it, the rendering, because you have described it how it should work, and the rest have to does the action card to make responsive. So this is the presentation. But before, let's get started, and hopefully that the steps are going here. What we're seeing now is that more things are done. So the first thing is my function is started. In this sample, I use the Azure function because it's the easiest way to run something local. And so on localhost, my API is hosted. So, but how does this help me when it's local? Because it tells something. We are here in Azure. And what does it mean when I say I'm in Azure? Does Azure have a connection to my local PC here? No. Normally, it shouldn't be that we have here a connection. But when I hit it here, hopefully, yes, allow once. Only I will talk about why it is coming here. But now we have a connection. I get a result. Why do I get a result for my local host in Azure?
You have some hybrid environment somehow.
It's too complicated. I have one little thing here. It is called start tunnel. It's a dev tunnel. So I get a public URL, and everything that is coming to this public URL will be tunneled directly to my PC. So it's more or less a proxy. You can use ngrok, or Microsoft has a dev tunnel. And with this capacity, it's very easy. And then it doesn't make any difference if I run this Azure function on my PC, external, or I run it in my Visual Studio in .NET, or I run it in a Docker container. With this dev tunnel, I can test it very easily. So please, when you have such things, please remember dev tunnel is a very, very cool tool. And I have here the complete response that somebody executed me here. I see that there was a query here. So I was talking before about action card. Do you see here in this responses Any action card? I don't see it, but there's inside it, it's the references. This is the action card. And this is the concept behind, because Copilot knows how action card looks like. This is the action card. So you provide them an action card and Copilot makes a message out of them. So I want to go a complete way with you in the demo again, and this time a little bit shorter. I make a new chat and I make the same call. Please give me records that are assigned to Karen Blair. And when I execute it, I get a question. I hope I will get the question again. Is, what does this question mean? They say I go out of the boundary of M365. Microsoft has no control about it. And this question does it say, hey, we use data, they are outside. Are you sure you want to use this data? Do you trust the data? Because as a developer, I can use everything in the account. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. It can be violated content and so on. As admin, you can say, allow this. In development environment, I would say, don't do this. To allow everything. So, and here, now, the Copilot says, hey, I have a question, and say, okay, I cannot answer it, but I have an action that is called list repair. So, in the meaning is, he says, okay, I got the question, I have it here in the definition, return a list of the details and images, what I have to repair, and here I have the OpenAPI definition. And so the Copilot makes the request. Yes?
Given that we have some legacy system and we are using WCF service.
Okay, legacy system WCF. Copilot does not understand this. So you need a proxy to transform it to the REST API. So because what Copilot understands is the open API format. But what can you do? You can use an open API management to make this transition. The other thing is, it's not a part of my talk, but you can make a custom engine Copilot. So you can do this in your source code by your own. But I prefer the easy way, and the easy way would be to get a REST endpoint to do this. The next thing is, you say, you have authentication. Authentication, the easiest way in the M365 universe is Enter ID. Why is Enter ID so easy? Because M365 is based on Enter ID. So I have nothing to do to say, okay, the user p.kirschner at CUBIDO will be on the on-premise system ABCD. So this translation I don't need. So it's easy to make it everything with Enter ID. And when you make a proxy, you are there.
We should do the same for GraphQL.
GraphQL mainly has also an OData endpoint, and OData endpoint would be a REST endpoint. Should understand. I have no, since we have this tooling, I have no customer that uses GraphQL already, and I have no connection. So I have no experience with this. But when you do it, I give you my email address. Please give me feedback how it was working, because I have no experience. Currently, I have only REST APIs, OData APIs connected, and this works great. Sometimes you have to say the description are really bad, because the main of the summary description, what we have seen in the OpenAPI definition, is one word, and it's the same word as the route. So This is the main thing. And so for every developer who makes APIs, please make good description. You can use Copilot for GitHub to make a description what this is doing. And yes, this is my way I do it. I'm not a big writer. Any other question?
Yes, there was.
Yes, please.
How to do an API when it's more like a knowledge base? I mean, you made now a very simple sample with a fixed list of returns. Yes. But in a real life scenario, the chat message might be give me all repairs handled by Karen for a BMW in the last 2 years.
Okay, I repeat the question. What is the difference about this REST API and knowledge?
Yes.
So the knowledge is indexed. The knowledge is in a semantic index mainly. For example, when you have Word or document files in SharePoint, they are in a semantic index and use this knowledge. So they make a batching and get these things back. What we are doing here is we have a live data connection to REST APIs. So when I say I want to have the price of my BMW 320e, I use the REST API, go directly to my system where I have the price information and get from this information the price back, and Copilot shows me the pricing. And
then I need an agent for every specific question because the user does not know which parameters your API is taking.
The user doesn't know it, but you have an instruction. So you can combine knowledge with price data. So when you give it this instruction to say, what we have before with the blog post, you have the knowledge, answer the questions. But if you have question about pricing and so on, please use the action because then you have live data. And then it's working. So you can combine both things, knowledge and actions, or in this case, a REST API call. So thank you, Rainer. It's 5 minutes.
We have one question from online. Somebody asks, is there a OneNote integration plan?
A OneNote integration plan. As far as I know, no. But I don't know everything. The thing is, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDFs are very well indexed, especially for the semantic index. They're really working great. SharePoint metadata, don't worry about it. Keep everything in the Word fast and it's good. And then you have a cool thing like OneNote. You have no chance that this OneNote is indexed. Yes, when you open the OneNote, you have Copilot and you can ask things, but not in the Teams chat. The same is currently also for Loop. You can use Copilot in Loop, and it's working really perfect. You can use Copilot in Teams and ask questions what is standing in a Loop workspace, but you have no capacity currently to use Loop in your agent. But hey, I don't know it. The time is running fast. Microsoft changed so many things. Every 3 weeks, something new. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't get it. So where was we standing? We are coming back. We give back from the REST API. We give back from the REST API the JSON. The JSON will be formatted with this action adaptive card that we have a response. This response we are seeing here. Copilot is reading these responses because he not understand this and says, okay, I make a one pager and give the text back directly here. So this is the complete magic, and this magic will be done in seconds. Okay, let's make and start with a short recap of what we have seen. Currently, it wasn't much. It was only a little bit M365 stuff and maybe some agents in the future. We was talking about declarative agents, about instruction, capacities, conversation starter. The conversation starter is really important. Sorry, for my personal, I don't need a conversation but when you give it to the enterprise, the people will love it. And then we are also talking about agents and REST API. Keep in mind, Open API definition. If you get a new software, ask, do you have API, Open API definition? And then adaptive cards. From the tooling, Teams Toolkit, please take a look. Take a look also to Adaptive Cards Designer. And when you need more information, Microsoft made a really great course about it. It's under AKA MS Copilot DevCamp. You can start with Agent, Copilot. There are 3 sections: Maker, Pro Dev, and Pro. The Maker is Copilot Studio. It's a good starting point when you say, I want to make my own agent, and there should be more capacity than I have in the Teams. Then the Pro Code, this is what we have done today. And then you have the 3rd section. There are custom engines, but start with custom engines, not directly. Start with the beginning. Start with the easy way to use AI in your daily activities. Thank you for your patience. I think we are on time. I'm completely here the complete day. If you have questions, you can ask me in English and in German. In German I would prefer, but okay, I can manage to talk English. Thank you very much and have a great day at Global Azure Austria.
Thank you very much, Peter Paul, and thank you for doing the session in English. We really appreciate that. Now we have a coffee break until 11 a.m. So be back at 11 a.m. for the next sessions. Enjoy the coffee break. The Diamond Bar is open for you again.